y'all, so today we're talking about another Reddit post I saw. Someone asked, how often do you block people? And I thought it was interesting because every now and then I will see posts on Twitter where people will talk about how they'll just block people. Sometimes they don't even tell people while they're leaving. They just end up blocking them. And I know for me personally, I very rarely will block someone. When I was younger, I used to block people all the time, and specifically it was mostly men. Mainly because they would either say inappropriate things, or if I told them to leave me alone, they would not leave me alone. I don't know what that is. It's given not necessarily Steve Urkel mentality, but I think that's one of the reasons why I never liked the show Family Matters. I'm not a fan of somebody constantly contacting you when you say no, or constantly hitting you up when you say no. You would probably be wasting your time. There would be somebody better, other suited for you out there. And it would be crazy because I would tell people in the most kindest way, so that they wouldn't get like erratic or have their feelings hurt necessarily, because I was one person where I really did not like wasting people's time. I would flat out be like, yeah, I'm not interested. I feel like it would be a better choice to go talk to somebody else that would be a better fit for you, because you like these things, I don't like these things. I probably wouldn't be that much fun for you. I feel like it's easier for me to downplay myself than to downplay somebody else, specifically if I don't know them. It's a safer method than to be like, ew, I don't like you, because some people can become very belligerent and aggressive if you say something negative towards them. I used to block people a lot when I was younger. I used to block exes or people I dated if they were constantly trying to be in my business. I think that was one thing I absolutely hated, because I had a few exes that would pop up over the years and they would reach out or contact me. After some years, right? Like, it's one thing to contact an ex in like the first 2-3 years, yeah? But to contact someone 10 years later is insane. I could really do a story time, but I don't know if I'm gonna do one, if I'm gonna put it on Patreon or whatever, but I just find it insane if someone contacts you 6+ years later to hit you up to rekindle something. Mainly because I'm a completely different person now. Specifically, if it's someone you dated when you were younger, like early 20s, teenager, contacting me in my 30s is insane to me. Or late 20s is insane to me, because I'm like, I am nowhere near the person I used to be at all. Values higher, my thought processes about life, myself, what I want for myself are higher. Plus, I have a whole fiance. It's just very, at the time I had a whole boyfriend. It's just very, and again, I know they probably don't know this information because they are blocked, obviously, but it's just very insane to have someone reach out to you and potentially think they could rekindle something when I'm assuming both of y'all should have grown some and became different people. And maybe sometimes people do grow and they want to rekindle something, but I don't know. It be giving you bored, and if you really are interested in talking to me, that's crazy, because there are lots of other women out here. That's how I feel anyways. I feel like there are lots of good women out here, so to only be stuck on me is insane. But again, that's my thought process, because there are a lot of great women. Just like when it comes to women dating men and potentially contacting an ex, there are some great men out here. It's just, I'm not gonna hold you, you do have to look for them. You do have to look for them. And it's nothing against the men. Nothing against the men, but I have heard so many bad stories. It's disheartening in this day and age. And again, it could just be because of everything that happened with the pandemic and stuff. Things are so different now, but I don't know what happened, but it's like the world did some sort of weird alteration where people, not just men, it's women too, act very crazy or belligerent or wild about different things that's inappropriate. When it comes to blocking people now, though, one, I block people who directly attack me. Completely will block them because I'm like, when I don't know you, talking a lot of mess like you know me. Or if somebody calls me out my name, sometimes I'll laugh, but I'll just be like, what does that do for you? Does that help you? I hope it does, because it does nothing to me. You can stay where you're at. I block people who don't realize they are the problem. I know I've seen some posts on Twitter that were very wild, and I would just block people just because it was just so much easier. Like, even if it's somebody that I'm not potentially following, if somebody that I know is following them, I will make sure to block my page, because a lot of times certain things that other people I follow interact with, it will show up on my account because I'm following them mutually. So I just block stuff I don't want to see. Specifically, I'll give y'all an example too of a time where I blocked someone just because they were the problem. So it was this post on Twitter in this community where this girl was saying that she was kicked out of another group. In the post, she was basically expressing how she was talking to multiple men, about 6 to 8 men, and she was basically saying how she didn't know how to choose just one of them and what should she do. The person who owned the group was explaining how she was wrong for doing that, mainly because if they really want a relationship with you, why are you talking to multiple men? That does not make sense, which I completely agree with. The girl proceeded to be upset, and she was like, well, you acting like you know me. All these guys know that I'm talking to different guys. The woman who owned the group was like, so you telling me all these guys know that you are being intimate with all of them at the same time? The girl who made the post basically cussing the owner of the group out about how she didn't know what she was talking about, she was jealous and stuff like that. And I'm looking at her like, she definitely should have booted you out the group because you belligerent. And she was not wrong. Why would you get mad? You are telling people you need to choose one, but also you don't want to choose one. And then when someone calls you out about the fact that there is no way possible that 6 to 8 men know that you are talking to 6 to 8 different men, and they are just okay with you talking to all of them and will continue to talk to you while knowing that you are also being intimate with them. Like, that does not, unless you out here for the streets. And when I say for the streets, I mean, girl, that's the only way they would continue talking to you, and it's nothing serious. So you also can't be mad if stuff isn't going seriously for you, because people are not going to take you serious if you moving like that. You know what I mean? And the people who do, in my opinion, they deserve better. But that's just me. That's just me. Specifically if they want something long-term and serious. But yeah, it's situations like that where she was looking like she didn't do anything wrong. She shouldn't have got booted out of the group. And I'm just like, bro. But you also proceeded to call this person out of their name because they disagree with you. Again, stuff like that, I will block somebody over, because literally no correlation to me, but I feel like you're gonna be one of those people that might sometime in the future, it could be this week, years later down the line, you might you say something on a tweet or something, I might as well just block you. I might as well just block you because you talking nonsense and it's not adding up. I have blocked people for less. I've blocked racist people. I've also blocked people who criticize me and it's not constructive. I've did that before. So that's just me. I've said this in one of my other videos before, but I feel like if someone criticizes you without sharing with you a way to do things better, it's bullying. If somebody were to come on here and be like, your hair is ugly, that's not constructive. That is literally you bullying. If someone was like, you would look cute with shorter hair, or I mean, that's technically a compliment, but give some other alternative if you gon' criticize somebody for something that they doing. Because if you just criticizing, you basically just talking mess, and it's bullying, especially if it's unwarranted. Because people do it to people all the time on YouTube, where someone may not like something that somebody's wearing or the way someone looks, and they'll just point at it. Oh, it's this one girl that I watch on YouTube. She was going off. And it was hilarious, but she was talking about how somebody in her comments basically said, I like your content, but you're kind of ugly. Why would you say something like that to somebody? What possessed you to even let that slip from your fingertips like it was okay? And again, what is the reason for sharing this information? People just be mean and be bullies. And I swear, they don't realize that bad stuff will come back to them. I don't care. you just tweeting out something negative, I still be feeling like it'll come back to you. It'll come back to you some type of way. Me personally, I'll block anybody for anything I don't like. Now, don't get me wrong, I've seen people say things that I disagree with, and I'll leave them there. I don't be saying nothing. If someone says something wow and is being very, very antagonistic, and it's constant, where they're constantly negative, constantly antagonistic, or being overly political, or if they being aggressive towards me or towards other women, or negative or nasty, I'll block them. I'll get them out of there. If it's somebody I had a personal relationship in the past and they did something that I didn't like, or they harassing me, I'll block people. But I haven't blocked anybody recently. But what about y'all? What's y'all reasons for when y'all block people? Is it specifically people you know in real life? Is it people that you know online? People that you interact with online? Because I know also there's a YouTuber called Jackie Aina, and she'll block people if they say something she don't like, any turn. I want to say it was this post going around where she was saying she doesn't like when people refer to her as auntie, and she'll actually block people for calling her auntie. I mean, if that's what helps you, do what's best for you, you know? You could block anybody for anything. Should you even hear about celebrities blocking people for making jokes on Twitter, and people will be like, well, why did they block me? Is it because I said something about them that they didn't like? You know, people will block for whatever, and I think it's okay if you're protecting your space within reason. Let me know y'all thoughts about this in the comments down below, but I'll be seeing y'all again soon. Stay blessed, stay positive. Bye.